Hi, so I am Xander and you are?
Mikhail Salienko.
And I will be interviewing you about Russia. I asked questions at school on what the people would like to hear, and I have 6 questions for you. What is your favorite castle in Russia?
Oh boy, famous castle in Russia. I would say there's numerous castles, but the most um, notorious ones are the ones in the city called St. Petersburg. And St. Petersburg is where Peter the Great used to live and rule Russia, or the Russian Federation back in his era. Um, I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly the name of the castle, but that's where you would go to see the history.
Okay. What was it like to learn English?
It was quite hard. I will tell you that just studying foreign language in your classroom is not enough. You have to practice it outside of classroom. You have to try to read books on your own. You have to try to listen to music. Maybe even watch TV shows, or if you have a friend who can be assisting you with learning that language, Spanish or German or French, I would strongly encourage you to spend a little bit more time with that individual. Um, in my situation, in my experience, what helped me out is coming over here from my home country and pretty much submerging myself entirely in the culture.
Okay. Why is the Russian flag white, red, and blue?
Oh boy, that's a great question. I am afraid I don't have the answer for that.
Okay. What do you think of Peter the First of Russia?
Peter the First of Russia, gosh, based on my recollection, he was the ruler of the Russian Federation back in 1800s, if I'm not mistaken, and he's he's been known to be somewhat of a dictator. So he liked things to be done his way. He certainly had Russian at his at his interest. He wanted to make our country the strongest country in Europe, and as a general or a commander of the Russian army, I believe that he's achieved quite a bit.
So, did Russia start any wars, and if so, what wars?
Again, gosh, that's a great history question. I mean, the World War II was not the one started by Russia. The World War One obviously wasn't either. Um, Again, if I reach back to my memory bank, I guess I would have to say we were never the aggressor. I would say that a lot of different countries wanted to have, the Russian soil, the Russian resources, and things of that nature. So they always attempted to attack first, but then the Russian army has always been able to push those countries back and still come out victorious out of those wars.
So, the last question. What made you want to move to America?
Well, my intentions were based on my goals, and those were to come over here and get a Division One scholarship as a student athlete. I grew up playing hockey, so I ended up attending UW Stevens Point as a student athlete. I played hockey for 4 years, and after that, my aspiration was to continue playing hockey on the professional level, and I ended up doing that for about a year, but then met my wife in college, and we just decided to stay here and raise our kids.
We'll be telling you sentences in English, and you will translate them in Russian.
Okay.
In social studies, Zuri, Ali, and I are learning about the Russian Empire.
В классе по социальным наукам Золи, Зак и Али учат как можно больше.
Second sentence. In science, with Joseph Vinopol, we built trebuchets and launched gourds.
В классе по науке я вместе с Джоуи строим различные физические укрепления.
Okay. And this, the shortest sentence of all. Denmark is smaller than Russia.
Дания меньше, чем Россия.